Hey y'all, welcome to the Max Life. Today I'm kind of showing y'all like a how-to sort of thing, because if y'all are like me, I hated using any type of chemicals on my kids. Today I'm actually making a product that I'm actually not using for myself. This is a diaper rash ointment that is the very best. Now, I don't have babies in diapers anymore, but I used to make this for my little ones all the time. I'm actually making this for two friends that are due with babies in the next couple of weeks. They are both like me. They did not like to use products full of chemicals, so I'm making them happy to put in their baskets for their babies. I'm gonna show y'all exactly what to do to make this ointment as well. It is wonderful for any type of skin rashes. Specifically, I'm gonna be making this for a baby's bottom, but it was absolutely the best thing I ever used. Anytime we had any kind of rash whatsoever on the baby's bottom, I put this on overnight, and within the next morning, we had no more red bottoms. I cannot say the same for products that I used for my older kids that come from the store. They work, but they took longer, and who even knows what's in that. So these products are all natural. I'm actually using my own beeswax, but if you don't have your own beeswax, of course you can buy natural beeswax. You're still getting all natural products. So I'm about to jump in and get this stuff melted down and show y'all exactly what to do so you can make the same products as well. I have these little tins that I'm gonna be filling for both of my friends that are due in a couple of weeks. Now you can actually get these fairly cheap at Amazon. The super cool thing really about all of this is these little tins can be filled with a lot of different things. And honestly, like if you have to buy the cocoa butter, the shea butter, if you have to buy the beeswax or the bentonite clay, the zinc oxide, the ingredients and the recipes can just be changed just a little bit to make many different products. So what I mean by that is these products right here, I can change and add a couple of different ingredients. I can make diaper rash ointment, I can make lip balm, I can make sunscreen. So those are a couple products you can make really with just a base of these things. So if you say, you know what, I'll have to go purchase all this stuff to make one little tin, I'm not sure if it's worth it, I will challenge you to make sure you're looking at other recipes, because today I'm making diaper rash ointment. However, I can, like I said, I can use basically these same ingredients and maybe alter them just a little bit and have sunscreen. So really cool, kind of getting away from the chemical idea. These products work really amazing, so I challenge you to look into that. Today I'm going to be sharing my recipe with you guys to fill these tins to make diaper rash ointment. So to start off this recipe, I need a half a cup of shea butter. So I'm going to start off by turning my eye on super low, and I'm going to measure, this is a half of a cup, I'm going to measure out a half of a cup over in here, and I might actually have to use my spoon because it's not wanting to come as easy as I thought. So I have my half a cup of shea butter. I'm gonna go ahead and turn this on low and let this start melting down. Now I want to add 4 tablespoons of coconut oil. These are pretty hefty, so I'm actually only gonna do about 3, which is gonna equal about 4. This is about 5 grams of beeswax. Now this is optional, you do not have to use the beeswax. However, I like it for a couple of reasons, because it makes the mixture waterproof. So if you put it on a baby's bottom, of course in a TT, it helps it stick to their skin versus just the oils. The oils are waterproof, but to me, nothing is waterproof like beeswax. So if you have some on hand, I just measured out about 5 grams. So I'm just gonna stick that down in there and let that melt as well. Solids are melting down. I want to go ahead and measure out my powders. So 4 teaspoons of bentonite clay, and now my hands are really greasy and I can't get this bag open. So I'm gonna have to grab some scissors. We need some zinc oxide now, which is another wonderful drying agent. And we also need 4 teaspoons of zinc oxide. Now, while my solids are almost done melting down, I'm just gonna kind of mix my powders together. Now the interesting thing about this is once all of my oil bases melted down, I'm actually going to let them start solidifying. Once they start getting a little bit thicker is when I want to mix my powders in, because if I mix my powders in, and this is something I have just learned through experience, y'all, if I mix my powders in right now, they're gonna fall to the bottom. They actually don't dissolve very well. So if I mix my powders in right now in my melted down oils, they're just gonna fall to the bottom, and I'm not gonna get those powders mixed in very well with my oils. So now that my oils are melted, I'm gonna let them begin to cool down because they're melted together. And when they start cooling down, this is gonna get a little bit thicker. And when this gets a little bit thicker is then when I want to add 4 teaspoons of zinc oxide and my 4 teaspoons of bentonite clay. Now, one other thing that my recipe is gonna call for is some essential oils. I have used lavender in the past. I have really liked this, and lavender works perfectly fine. Frankincense, a lot of those oils that are really good for the skin work wonderful. Lavender has always been my go-to for the most part. When I got into Plant Therapy's Kid Safe oils, I found a silky soft blend that I loved for the kids. So I've been making this for a couple of years now. Like I said, I've used the lavender before in the past. It is wonderful, but I do love this Kid Soft blend from Plant Therapy. So that's actually what I'm gonna be using today. It is kid safe, and I'm gonna be adding some oils in this, but I'm going to do that last. So once my oils start cooling down, I'm gonna add my powders in, and I don't want to add my oil in while my liquid is really hot. So we're gonna allow this to cool down. Then we are going to mix our powders in. Then we are going to add our oil. We don't want the heat to damage this oil because this oil, again, is very good for the skin, and heat can sometimes damage those particles, so you want to mix those in last. So for now, we just wait. We have our oils blends melted, and we are gonna need to let them cool down before we can do anything else. We are at room temperature now. You can still see that I'm at a pourable state where I can pour this over into my tins. So I do want it still pourable, but I don't want it so loose and hot that my clay gets lost in the mix and goes down to the bottom. Starting to get a little film on the top here. That means it is, so you can even see it starting to thicken up on the side. You want it to be more close to room temperature after you've melted those oils down together. So now I'm gonna go ahead and add in my powders, and because my liquid is a little bit thicker, it is going to blend into the oils instead of settling on the bottom of those. Once I get all of my powder mixed in really well, sometimes I'll actually use a whisk, which I'm actually going to do in this case. I want to use a whisk. I'm also going to add 10 drops of my essential oils down in there, and because it is still in that pourable state and it's not solidified, because if it starts solidifying, it just doesn't pour very well into your tins, and it looks kind of bumpy, and it's just not as pretty. So if you can keep it in that liquid stage and go ahead and mix real well, it pours really nice, but it also incorporates your powders into your oils really nice as well. So I have it right where I want it, and I'm going to go ahead and pour it over into my tins just as soon as I add my essential oils over in. Y'all saw me pour up our viper rash ointment that is over in our tins. I actually had a little bit extra, so this can be put up for next baby gift. And I wanted to show y'all, all I do is slap just a super cute little label on. They need to sit over on the counter until they have completely solidified. Now this does take a little bit of time, so I usually will just put my lids on like I'm doing right now. They are still very, very liquidy. So I just need to set those off to the side until they have fully solidified. Then they will absolutely be ready. The only thing I recommend with these is, because they are very oil based, not to leave those in the heat, because if you take your diaper rash ointment that is oil based and you leave it in your car or your diaper bag and it is a really hot day, those oils are going to, you guessed it, they're gonna melt. So I tend to leave mine at home. I would leave mine on the diaper changing station and really lather Heine's up at night over bedtime when it can stay on and be uninterrupted. The longest is really when it works best. I found that applying it at night was the best, and there was really no need to take it with us in the diaper bag, especially in the summer here in Mississippi. So those just need to sit and solidify, and that was it. The whole project is done, and now I have provided wonderful gifts for my friends for their tiny little babies and their bottoms to keep them from getting red, or if they do get red, this is a wonderful natural go-to that I love personally. I have shared it with many other friends that love it as well, and I thank you guys too. And just remember, if you have to go out and buy the products, these products can be used as a base for many other things like sunscreen, like your lip balm, and a couple of other products. Whipped body butter is just another product that you can use with the base of these oils and a lot of these powders as well. And they are very, very good for the skin. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and share the video. And with all that being said, happy homesteading, y'all.